Have you ever heard whispers of a treasure so cursed it's been lost for over 150 years, guarded by the ghosts of soldiers? Today, we re-dive in deep into one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries, the legendary haunted gold of the Civil War. Is it a real, tangible fortune waiting to be found, or just a spooky campfire story passed down through generations? The story begins in the chaotic final days of the Confederacy in 1865, as the Union Army closed in on Richmond. Virginia Confederate officials were in a panic. They had to protect the treasury, a massive hoard of gold, silver, and jewels. Their desperate plan was to smuggle it south, hoping to fund a new start or continue the fight. This treasure, estimated to be worth millions, was loaded onto a secret train heading out of the city under the cover of darkness. But here's where things get murky. The train and the treasure vanished. One of the most popular legends points us to a small town in Georgia. A Confederate officer named Captain Parker was supposedly tasked with burying the gold. He and a few trusted soldiers hauled heavy chests deep into the wilderness near the Savannah River. They dug pits, lowered the treasure, and then the story takes a dark turn. To protect the location, a terrible pact was made. Some say the soldiers were sworn to secrecy on their lives, while darker versions of the tale claim they were killed on the spot, their spirits forever bound to guard the gold. So, where is this treasure now? People have been searching for generations. The most famous location is Chenault Plantation in Georgia. For decades, treasure hunters have flocked here, armed with maps, metal detectors, and a whole lot of courage. They've reported all sorts of strange phenomena. Unexplained cold spots in the sweltering Georgia heat, disembodied voices whispering warnings, and the ghostly figures of soldiers seen patrolling the woods at night. Imagine you're out there, shovel in hand, and you hear the faint sound of a bugle or the marching of unseen feet. Would you keep digging? Many have tried. In the 1950s, a group of hunters claimed their equipment went haywire the closer they got to a specific spot. Compasses spun wildly, and their lanterns flickered out for no reason. They fled, convinced they had disturbed something supernatural. Then, in the 80s, another team brought in a psychic who claimed to communicate with the spirit of a soldier. The spirit allegedly warned them that the gold was protected by a curse and would bring ruin to anyone who found it. But let's be skeptical for a moment. Could there be a rational explanation? The hauntings might be nothing more than the wind whistling through the trees, the natural creaks and groans of an old forest, or simply our imaginations running wild in a creepy place. The story of a lost Confederate treasure is incredibly compelling, and over the years it's easy for embellishments and spooky details to be added. Local folklore is powerful, and it can turn a historical mystery into a full-blown ghost story. Historians also have their doubts. They argue that the Confederate treasury was mostly spent by the time Richmond fell. Any gold that was moved was likely in small, scattered amounts, not one massive hoard. It's possible the entire legend is based on a kernel of truth. Perhaps a small payroll box was buried and lost, and it just grew into this epic tale of haunted millions. There are no official records confirming a large single shipment of gold leaving Richmond that matches the legend. The paper trail just isn't there. However, the lack of official records could also be part of the plan. If you're trying to secretly move a fortune during a war, you wouldn't exactly advertise it. The absence of evidence isn't necessarily evidence of absence. And what about all those eyewitness accounts of ghostly soldiers? Are they all just making it up? Paranormal investigators who have visited the supposed burial sites have recorded strange electronic voice phenomena, or EVP. They've captured faint voices saying things like "get out," "leave," and "hours." Could these be the ghostly guardians we've heard about? Let's look at another intriguing theory. What if the treasure was found long ago, but the finder kept it a secret to avoid the government and, perhaps, the curse? If you stumbled upon millions in gold, would you announce it to the world? Probably not, but you might take a little at a time, slowly integrating it into your life, leaving the rest hidden. The legend of the hauntings would be the perfect cover story to keep other treasure hunters away. It's a brilliant misdirection. The search continues to this day. Modern treasure hunters are using new technology like ground-penetrating radar and magnetometers to scan the Earth, hoping to find an anomaly that metal detectors might miss. They're cross-referencing old maps with new satellite imagery, trying to pinpoint the exact locations mentioned in diaries and letters from the era. Each new piece of technology brings a renewed sense of hope that the treasure is just waiting to be unearthed. One of the most fascinating aspects of this mystery is the human element. The story is filled with obsession, greed, and the thrill of the hunt. People have dedicated their lives and spent their fortunes searching for this lost gold. There's a certain romance to it, isn't there? The idea of a lost piece of history, a tangible link to the past, hidden just beneath our feet. And the added layer of a ghostly curse just makes it all the more irresistible. So, what do you think? Is there a cursed chest of Confederate gold buried in the Georgia woods, guarded by the spectral figures of long-dead soldiers? Or is it all just a myth, a ghost story born from the chaos of war and fueled by our love for a good mystery? Maybe the real treasure isn't the gold itself, but the story that has captivated us for over a century and a half. It's a story that keeps history alive, sparks our imagination, and reminds us that some secrets may never be revealed. The ghosts of the Civil War might just be keeping this one for themselves. What's the wildest treasure hunting story you've ever heard? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more dives into history's greatest mysteries. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.